Well, time again to continue our great conversations with the Shelton School District and Superintendent Wyeth Jessee, finding out what's going on with some big news here, actually. How are you?
I'm doing great, Jeff.
This might be our last interview with masks on.
I can't believe that.
I can't either, but the governor, along with the other Western states, Oregon and California, earlier in the week, put out a proclamation. It was supposed to be March 21st, and now it's basically March 12th. Masking in a whole host of situations is going to go to the wayside, including in schools.
Yeah, it's like 100 weeks of masking, and really looking forward to getting the mask off. It's time.
I guess we are probably right around, 2 years, almost on the nose, to the first sort of lockdowns in Washington State. How have you, I mean, this news just came out, but you kind of knew it was coming. How has the school district been preparing for this? Are
Yeah,
you prepared for this?
yeah. So just along this pandemic, there's been just a lot of changes, different mandates, different ways to take care of ourselves and our community. And so for the Shelton School District, we just really been just pushing the message out there, making sure that we're answering questions. Things anywhere from, hey, what was going to happen for kids when they had to wear them on the bus? Now, thankfully, they don't have to wear them on the bus because the federal government and the CDC had said, hey, we're going to release that requirement because they have jurisdiction over public transit
Oh, okay.
nationally. Obviously, the buildings and the things that are going on inside had been put to, state level and then also local level. So, for us, just pushing information, we just sent another, email communication out to all of our families and our staff just to let them know, hey, come after the 11th, we're going to go without masks. That still means, Jeff, that if folks do want to wear a mask, they can do that, and our students can wear them free of harassment or intimidation. I think we'll see that. I think I was just down in California, and they don't have the mandate, and so, but you did still see some people and some families wearing the mask,
Yeah.
especially in the grocery store. I thought that was an interesting arena where they had them on in the grocery store, but I was also in restaurants, and a lot of people did not have them on there.
And it seems like as we move forward on this, the numbers after this latest Omicron variant, it shot up real fast and then it came down pretty good. And I'm guessing that's a lot of the reasons why these decisions have been made. Is there any, so this is completely out of your control and the school board's control, much like the implementation of these masks and things like that. Is that right?
Yeah. So for the, Shelton School District, the school board, myself as superintendent, we're following the state mandates. Governor Inslee is the one that's had this emergency proclamation now, like you were mentioning, for almost 2 years now. And it is time, like you're saying, that, hey, this latest variant, Omicron, came through very quickly.
Uh-huh.
I will add, it really hit us as a school district. Our number one goal is to keep our doors open and provide in-person services. We believe very strongly, and we've heard from our community. Please, I want to still send my kid to get an education. We know in-person services works for our students better than virtual learning, and so we've done that. Now, we're just going to follow this latest change, the mandate coming through. Both the CDC and Governor Inslee have decided to, relax the mask mandate. Our data also, Jeff, says that. We had, like I said, got hit hard early in January, but for this last month, we've seen pretty low levels of transmission in the district. We have our own testing clinic that we've been running every day. We see who comes and goes. What's our positive test rate? It's fallen below 5% of the people getting tested. And I also watch every single day how many certificated staff we have out, and those numbers have been pretty much low for about six or 7 weeks now, with maybe a couple of days here and there.
Talk to me a little bit about the student population, and if you think that you'll get students returning to the school district after the 11th, after the mask mandate has gone away. Do you think some of these kids who have been either homeschooled by their parents or homeschooled through other educational opportunities will decide to come back to Shelton? And if they are kind of on the fence, what would you say to encourage them?
Yeah, we want students to obviously come to school. I know that a number of families have unenrolled their student. I don't know where they're at. You can look at the numbers too across this state, any state. It's in the headlines. Where did the students go?
Yeah.
That's my question as well. If you're looking at our enrollment data historically, I think there's up to 300 students just hanging out there somewhere here, kind of in Mason County. Of where did you go? And so we have already a plan in place to go out there and have a concerted effort to go out and reach them. We have their previous contact information, check in on them, go door to door, see if there's something we can do to help them. But with this transmission rate really falling, it's way safer than it was. If they're really that nervous, I say again, encourage them to get vaccinated, and then let's move on. Let's get your kid back to school. Again, put it in the hands of the professionals who are highly trained that we have here in the Shelton School District.
What is the Office of Public Instruction, Reichbill's office, talking about vaccination status? And are you hearing any options or changes to that when it comes to the teaching staff or whoever else interacts with students?
Yeah, so we know that OSPI works with other state agencies, right? The Department of Health and also Labor and Industries. Those are your key government agencies that will come together and think about what are the vaccination requirements. I don't have any information. They have not released anything. All I've been told, like other superintendents across the state, is that they're working on it. So the more we know, the earlier we know, again, really is helpful for the Shelton School District so that I can adjust, get the information out there, have the plans, whatever it is, work with, our local health public agency, Mason County Public Health and other, obviously Mason General have been very helpful along this way. So the more we know, we can set things up and do whatever we had to do to pivot and transition.
We've got about 3 months left in this school year. When you guys have to start planning for next year, when it comes to these instructors and teachers, how are you going to be able to? Are you going to hold out positions maybe, or are you just going to look to fill what you have available? And if people meet the requirements, then they're going to be eligible for that position?
We're highly invested in our staff. We want to try to keep as many people as possible. That's why we provided a lot of accommodations for folks to keep them safe and to keep others safe as these requirements have come by the state. And so we'll continue to follow those, whatever the state puts out there. I think if I was projecting out there, I do believe that, with the loosening, the less requirement there is for us to wear a mask and other social distancing, I don't know why we wouldn't try to figure out how we can provide other different accommodations or whatever to keep folks in for the next school year.
Man, you may be able to start a school year here this September, almost like school years of yesteryear.
Yes, Jeff.
Man, that's a whole new landscape for you.
I'm taking a big deep breath on that, Jeff. Just I'm a little leery.
I hear you.
For reasons that are obvious. But it would be extremely exciting. We plan to actually host a kickoff for our strategic plan and also kind of just reacquainting staff come this May so that we can just, see each other's face. Folks that maybe you haven't seen so much because everybody's been so locked down in their houses. It's going to be a really good opportunity for this to also show, hey, we got a plan here in the Shelton School District for what we're going to do around learning loss and safety and social emotional well-being. I'm really excited about that. And without masks and social distancing, maybe shake some hands. That'd be fabulous.
There may be some staff that have never seen your face yet.
Probably. Well, maybe not.
That's amazing. Well, I've spent some time up at the high school in the last few weeks, hanging out with the theater production, the drama, and the DECA clubs. And man, you got some great students up there, some great teachers that are really invested and passionate about learning and teaching the kids. It's a lot of fun to go up there and work on projects with them and see how excited the students and the teachers are. So that's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, we're super excited. But actually, we're actually, Jeff, already kicking off a way to do some things better already for next year, as you're mentioning, related to our strategic plan. We are now going to do a multi-day orientation for all incoming ninth graders at our 3 high schools.
Uh-huh.
Isn't that awesome? I mean, like, you get to meet other kids. It's such a big transition, high school. And we're also going to have some books. So we're going to require book reading coming in. We're going to increase the rigor. And then also for those kids who maybe missed out on some of the math. Math is very linear sequential. And if you miss days, you're missing some of the content. The state standards are still there. Geometry class, algebra class, calc. There's still requirements. So we're going to have some math classes over the summer too, also for incoming ninth graders. So it's really an exciting time to be there and welcome kids. Obviously at our other grade levels too. We're going to have a big summer program. You'll have to come back and talk to me about that. So we're super excited here in the Shelton School District. Great place to be.
So one final thing on student progress and academics. When it comes to report cards, and parents are seeing report cards, and they've changed over the years with the grade letters and passing or proficient or whatever they are developing now. What would you say to a parent who's looking at a report card and maybe is concerned about where their student is, either in their mind or where their student is in relation to other kids that the parents talk to or things like that? This last 2 years have been tough on kids.
Really tough, Jeff. I would tell any parent who's looking at that, and even sitting there reading a book with their kid or doing some of the homework, writing something out, maybe doing a science project, if they have concerns, their number one place to go is their teacher. Reach back out, have a conversation with our amazing educators that we have here. If there's bigger concerns, we have wraparound teams, principals get involved, counselors that can really help support a student, because there's going to be some ups and downs. As I like to say, there's going to be a massive hangover from this particular pandemic.
Yeah.
It is going to be with us for a while. The learning loss and also the social emotional learning, anxiety, depression, the things that we know so many people have battled with. We are empathetic to that. We recognize it. We have ways of looking at science and ways of addressing it. So like you're saying, if you're sitting there with your son or daughter and you're really kind of watching some of these things unfold, whether it's, again, academics or just not maybe wanting to get motivated to join one of those after school or clubs that we have, let's talk, because we want to make sure that we support them. One other thing I'd say around for us is, and for parents to understand, is it will take time. This learning loss and the things that they're feeling will be over multiple years. And so we are setting ourselves up differently to address those things. Summer is going to be critical. Utilizing and getting kids involved in academics and activities during the summer is going to be really a big play for us, because before and after school is tough in this community. A lot of kids take the bus, transportation, and we don't want to exclude those who have other family commitments or a lack of transportation. So we want to make sure that we're doing that.
The help is out there, sheltonschools.org, the website. We'll put the links to that in the show notes as we continue these conversations. Next time, we will probably be maskless doing this thing, and it is a strange thing to even say.
I'm really looking forward to it, Jeff.
Yeah, for sure. Superintendent Jessee, good to see you, and thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Jeff.